In this video, we're going to make a ring out of some copper tube and half round brass wire. And we're going to do something we haven't done before and put an inner liner of wood in it. And we're going to use this waterfall babinga because it has a really nice dark wood grain. We're going to start by cutting our wood liner because there's a lot of steps before it's ready to actually go in the ring blank. We're going to have to sand all sides of this wood, including making a taper on one end, because babinga is a very sturdy wood and it's going to really resist rolling. It's going to want to crack unless you make it really smooth. The last step before we shape is to dunk it in boiling water. Because it's wet, it'll dry to the shape of the mold we're going to attach it to. Now all we have to do is roll the wet wood around this tube, and once it dries, we'll have that really nice round shape we're looking for. While our wood dries, we're going to prepare the copper component. To make the ring soft, I like to heat it up and then immediately dunk it in water. This just makes it really easy if you need to resize the band or if you're going to be doing a lot of filing like I plan to do. Before we attach our wood to the band, we're going to need to clean the oxidation and grime off, so I'm going to sand the inside and get it nice and scuffed for a really good grab. We also want to clean the outside of the ring, and it's really easy just to use a bench grinder so that it's nice and smooth. Now we're ready to finish up our ring blank. I'm going to trim the wood and slide it into the copper piece. After that, we'll wrap tape around the outside, and that way we can glue up the whole thing. After some time, our blank is dried, and we're going to use our lathe to remove the excess wood and then sand it to our liking. The next step is going to be to measure and cut our center inlay for our brass wire. On this ring, I also want to do brass inlays at 90 degrees, so I'm going to measure and mark 8 of these. With all of the inlays marked, now I'm going to take it off of the lathe and hand file out all the channels. Now we go back to the lathe and begin our center inlay. Once we get this in completely, we're going to file out the cross channels to make room for the other brass inlays. Next, we can put in our cross inlays. I'm just going to apply a little bit of glue and then slide in a small cut of the brass wire into each one of the cross channels. Now that most of the fine detail work is done, we're going to file and sand the band. I'm not going to go for a super shiny polish on this just because it would be kind of hard on the glue that we use to attach the brass. Before we go any further, I'm going to add a thin layer of UV resin to the outside of the band. I'll probably add more coats later to give it more of a bevel, but for now I just want to do this before I do the inside. "30 minutes in the UV bath, and then we'll do the inside." Next, we're going to clear coat the inside of the band. I like to add some vinyl tape to the outside, that way it protects it from the chuck, and I can also glue a metal hanger to it for the UV bath. After another 30 minutes in the UV bath, the ring will finally be complete. I did go back and add more clear coat to get a better bevel on the outside, and I think that was definitely worth it. By far my favorite part of the ring is that super cool waterfall Babinga liner. That wood grain is amazing. I would definitely use this in a lot of other rings. I like the brass. It could have been more pronounced, maybe do a medieval style, like background it in some black, but maybe in a revision video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you maybe want to leave a comment on what you would do differently with this ring, or if you liked it or not, that would be cool too. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.